Good morning, everybody. Today is happy to get all the members here for our MBA organization behaviors classes and members to discuss about the OB model for our assignments. Today we have me, Jones, and Mohan, and Fendi and Nazri in the presentations today. Let me do introductions because our topic today is talking about the retail industry. Okay, what is happening to the retail industry and also the company that we have chosen. We are choosing Parkson Corporation Berhad. So let me do some introductions on the Malaysia's retail industry. So Malaysian industry has been one of the largest contributing sector to the countries. The GDP can contribute up to 45% of the whole Malaysian GDP. But what are the background of the retail market in Malaysia? Number one, we have a multi-aspect of retail landscape. We can see many models like e-commerce platform, hybrid platforms, and also conventional shopping outlet in the market. And we also have e-commerce market. Now after the MCO, CMCO, RMCO, the e-commerce market has been growing bigger and bigger. And also, don't forget about our traditional retailer shopping complex like Aeon, Texco, Parksons, one of the topics of our assignment today. And they have been so established in the Malaysian market. And we also have specialty retailers like some fashion boutiques or electronics outlets like Seng Heng, like TVC, and that's why it makes the whole Malaysia retailer market is so dynamic and so competitive. Looking at the whole market right now, our consumer also have changed their behavior, their buying behavior, and that's why it makes the whole Malaysia retailer market is so dynamic and so competitive. So today, let's come to our selected company, which is Parkson Corporation Berhad. Let me briefly introduce the background and the history of Parkson. Parkson Corporation Berhad has been established since 1987. They have become one of the largest retail groups in Malaysia, and they are specialized in department store and retail shopping center, and they have even grown their business across Asia's countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, Myanmar, China. So their vision is to be Asian leading department store group in Asia. This is their vision. Today we want to focus more on the Parkson's issue, and we have Mohan, Fendi, and Nazri to be our consultants. So let's look at what is the current issue of Parkson's. Their sales have been declining since many years ago. That is the actual fact. Their revenue has been deeply impacted. Come to reasons pandemic, and their sales is even more worse. But these 2 years, it looks like their sales have been picking up. Something they are looking at. Maybe they are now in the changing transitions. Later, we may need our consultant to give some insightful review about it. And second is they have intense competition in terms of retail market. And they also have domestic international player for the market share. That is the current competitions Parkson is having. And also, because they are traditional retailer shopping more, and they have more operating costs like electricity, waters, the physical maintenance, and also the staff, the staff, employees, the frontliners. These are the issues they are facing. How do they incorporate these three issues to make them have good sales, good revenue, in terms of how do they modify their organization behaviors? So today, we want to listen to our consultants, who is Fendi. Fendi, maybe you can give us some review in terms of organization behavior on Parksons. So come to you, Fendi.
Thank you, Jones. And we choose a very popular organization in Malaysia, which is a Parkson. And then let's talk about from the organization behavior perspective. Being of Parkson Corporation Berhad consultants, I might see they have three major issues which related to workplace attitude and motivation among all the employees. And of course, it's not forgotten, lack of a group dynamic. So when we talk about this, first of all, workplace attitude, we cannot forget that the employee play the important roles to ensure that the Parkson Corporation Berhad surviving in the India industry. But by having of a negative attitude towards of their works, it can be lead of a decrease of motivation of the staff. Definitely directly impact to their productivities and job satisfactions. And negative workplace can manifest in a various of forms. It's actually maybe they are resist to change. And also apathy. This attitude is influenced by various factors, maybe lack of their management, maybe in terms of their leadership in the company, or to a certain extent that their job dissatisfaction. So that is a first part of workplace of attitude that can be relayed to from the perspective of organization behavior. But second part is the most important, which is this lack of motivation. Motivation is a play crucial roles in the big organization when come to the impacted to the employee. So I think that they are correlated to their performance and also their productivities. So motivated employees are more likely can exert effort, show their initiative to achieve whatever goals that been set by the Parkson in this case. So I think that the factor to contribute on this, maybe the employee of the Parkson don't have goals, unclear the goals. So I think that's a lack of motivation of Parkson staff happen when the Parkson, as you said just now, shrinking their business. They are feel threatened when all the branches is closing one another, and of course, which is essentially impact to the third lack of the group dynamic. Okay, so the dynamic of a certain organization is very important. Is actually fostering for the teamwork, communication, and also increasing trend. So labor cost will be one of the highest costs that management have to manage. So putting pressure in terms of because of a low Parkson profit margin, it will restrict the fund budget to improve efficiency of the task. So I think that this will further create lack of cohesion among teams and also department. It can lead to the miscommunication, conflict, and reduce efficiency in the achieving common goal. That is my perspective on my view from the organization behavior. So which is essentially what is a current issue that is facing by the Parkson. Thank you. Over to you, Jones.
Oh, okay, you actually gave a very good literature's review from the organization behavior perspective. But Fanny, can I come to you again? Okay, in terms of being a consultant, right? How do you see Parkson from a perspective of the macro view? What do you think as a consultant?
Okay, as a consultant of Parkson, right, let me address this issue required a very comprehensive approach that involves of understanding and also is actually caused about the negative workplace attitude that we mentioned just now, with a low motivation, and how it's actually to implementing strategy to improve communication and leadership effectiveness. So I can say that there is several of action need to be done. Okay, I think in the first place that we have to realign the staff momentum. There is one in the macro perspective. There is one of the point out time in the past when they have similar challenge, perhaps share example to others. I think that they have to build of a sense efficiency with progressively more difficult challenge. So furthermore, I think that it refine the organization value to make them more relevant and meaningful to the employees. So I think that's first we need to realign. I emphasize realign staff momentum. And second thing is enhance employee motivation. So like I said just now, the motivation is a crucial part to the employee because the employee is the asset of the company. So when a company faces a crisis like this, so what they need to do is to think how to utilize their existing resources to maximize their prosperity via their asset. So they have to give the clear goals to the employee. They have to inform them what is actually their role as an asset in the company. So by providing a clear, purposeful versions, this is going to eliminate some of the bad perception towards the company, which is they can lift their motivation towards of the company. Encourage manager to regularly communicate with their team, provide the feedback, get the feedback and support. So empower employees to take ownership of their work. So that is actually from the perspective of macro view. Last but not least, I want to tell that we have to change the new leadership style. So I believe that the strong leaders of the Parkson will develop the culture within the organization where every individual feel vitally type is a larger mission. So over the years, I think there's a motivation uphold organization health. So a combination of management practice, combination of this new leadership style, okay, I think that we've enhanced the employee motivations and also, of course, realign back the staff momentum. I believe Parkson going to be more dynamic and also it can be changed and to get to achieve their goals and also to get their better performance. So I think that's all from me, Jones. So over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Fendi, for sharing your point of view. Okay, let's come to Nazri. Nazri, so as a consultant, okay, if let's say Parkson asks you, what is your point of view, okay, in terms of micro, what are your advice or what is your view on Parkson?
Okay, hi everyone. Okay, thank you, Mr. Jones, for the inquiries on the micro view on what happened to Parkson. Okay, I would like to take this through into two parts. First one, I would like to address on the issues on the micro level on Parkson, and then what supposed needs to be done, and then what have been done by the Parkson group itself. Okay, for the first one, like mentioned by Mr. Fendi just now, so the workplace attitude that we found out in Parkson, that the cynicism, apathy, resistance to change is one of the factors that affected the productivity of the employees. Okay, the job satisfaction we found out among staff has been deteriorated, and then unconsciously has been spread among the staff within the Parkson group, because the insecurity and then the disbelief of the changes that have been outlined with the current management is not 100% well received by the employees itself, right? So one of the things that when the company start to shrink their business outlets, so when the staff heard that the downsizing of the business outlet, which led to the downsizing of the manpower as well. So this is because the changes of the market, which is the e-commerce has taken place, that has affected the overall business of Parkson, which is they do in the conventional way, right? The Parkson staff has started to receive a pay cuts, and then some of them be retrenched, and then it led to the overwork to the existing staff work or still retained with the company, right? So this insecurity has diverted their attention and their motivation to do more, right? So this is the thing that and the negative vibe surround the Parkson workers itself. One of the things that Mr. Fendi I wanted to add on is like the group, the lack of group dynamics. The current management of Parkson has underestimated the direct and indirect consequences of the crisis. So this has led to the lack of group dynamic has go down from the top to bottom in the lineage of the hierarchy. It created the lack of cohesion among the department within the Parkson group. What we can see from the main protagonist to turn around the Parkson group, and the directors of Parkson has mandated a new line of management to turn around what we see the crisis within the company. So the new line of the management, senior management, has introduced an improved business plan, business model, which are focusing more on the online segment. And then they start to bring a new up-to-date line of brand into their stores. And then they are negotiating with the malls, as we know, Parkson always be the anchor tenants in any malls. And then they're talking about and collaborating with the mall's owner to bring a well-known retailers within the mall. So this is very important, very imperative, because it will create a win-win situation to the Parkson and then the retailers as well. Because this line of the branded retailers will have their followers, their existing and loyal customers as well, right? This is, I call it very important, because Parkson need to align with the current market environment where the behaviors, the shopping, purchasing behaviors of the market now has changed over time, not like before, right? So the directors of Parkson has realized that they cannot be stagnant or complacent what they have been doing for the past 30 or 40 years, okay? So one of the major things that the senior management do is like they reinvented a new look, a new concept in the shop for the Parkson, where the customers feel a different shopping environment or different shopping experience when they step into the Parkson stores, right? Last but not least, I wish to highlight that the new management successfully instilled in the mind of the middle management and the ground staff of the new ideas and new direction of this, what we call turnaround plan. They seems to like get the buy-in from the middle management to work hard and believe of the turnaround plan, which leads to the motivation has become one of the things that the Parkson staff buy in, and then they start to believe that they have future with the company. And then one of the things that they have done is like to maintain the highest motivation level among the staff is like employee engagement session, which is they have introduced some sort of like town hall, the senior management talk to the staff and then give the direction and the status update of the company progression. This has created a good engagement, and then at the same time they listen to the ground staff on the feedbacks on what happened and then what is the feedbacks on the what have been done, right? So this connection, emotional connection, has inspired people from the middle and the bottom line staff to give their best at work, right? This is a few views yang I like to share. Thank you, Mr. Back to you.
Now, Nasri, you give a very detailed analysis from the micro view on Parkson. Okay, so we have listened to Fendi, we have listened to Nasri about their macro and the micro view on Parkson in terms of organization behavior. But we need to have a solid solutions, right? And some good advice solutions to Parkson. And then now we need to ask Mohan, okay, what is your opinions as a consultant? Then you need to give solid solutions. Now they're having some staff issue, the group momentums in terms of staff motivations, satisfaction, job satisfactions. So if you need to give solid solutions to Parkson management, so what is your advice? Come to you, Mohan.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. John, for having on today's forum. So looking into issues that faced by Parkson Corporation Berhad. So as a consultant, I like to propose a support organizational behavior model to the Parkson Corporation. Because a supportive model is a part of a management lifestyle work, and it reflects in a way that how the management deals with the people. So this model is very effective, particularly in developing and drive the employee in wide area of needs. So come back to the proposal. So I would like to propose this model for the Parkson to implement in the higher level so that they can have the engagement with their ground level on mitigate these organizational issues. Thank you, Mr. John.
Okay, so we suggest a supportive model to their management. Is there any research on this supportive organization behavior model? Do you have any things you can share with us?
Yeah, Mr. John, as I said, there was a research, paper-based questionnaire survey research was done at Janub Mall, Saudi Arabia. So this research basically on the management involvement related to their staff. So how the staff are participant towards the managed response to on their work delegation. Based on the study, based on the research, it was found that the employee are more supportive towards the management and cooperative towards the organization if the management are very supportive and giving encouragement and recognition towards the employees. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Let's come to the final diagnosis and solutions. What is your point of view for these final diagnosis and solutions?
Yeah, as I speak just now, basically there are two issues that faced by Parkson Berhad. One is economic, the other one is organizational issue. So looking into these two issues, I would suggest that Parkson should develop its own e-commerce platform, like a website or mobile application. So it will minimize the physical operation cost, firstly. Secondly, it provides motivation and assurance towards the employee where they are still part of the Parkson organization. And this will allow the Parkson organization to have engagement with employee and customer from any location and any point of time. And lastly, the cash transfer on the product sales activity happens in the Parkson platform itself. So there will no required of third-party involvement for the cash transactions. Secondly, if you look into the organizational issue, Parkson shall engage with the employee on regular basis to provide business directions and guidance on the specific product sales. In such case, Parkson can organize an expo event to satisfy customers who prefer physical shopping. And during that expo, the staff of the Parkson have the opportunity to speak with the customer and impart knowledge on current business trend. The other solution that I would propose on the Parkson organization shall motivate and provide recognition to its employees, such as those employees who having e-commerce platforms and have many followers. Those employees should have credit for the sales. You see, so it will retain the talent within the organization. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Okay, thank you. Mohan, what if your suggestions for the solutions is not being taken by the management? Do you have any alternative solutions for the management?
If let's say the Parkson do not consider supportive model as an effective model, there's another alternative solution that I would like to propose, which is a collegial model. I can propose this collegial model into pertaining to the two issues that faced by Parkson, which is economic and organizational. So first, economic. So Parkson can open its platform for business collaboration with other retailers. So it will minimize the retailer competition in the markets. And the other solution is that Parkson shall allow employee collaboration. Since Parkson is established globally, so they should allow the employee collaboration from other countries. The staff will have a business idea how to bring sales locally. They can introduce new ideas and sales opportunities on the local markets.
It's a very good analysis on the competitions, okay, for Parkson. So if my question to you again, Mohan, do you foresee any future problems, even though they have picked up a new management style or different organization behavior? Do you still see there's a future problem coming in?
Yeah, Mr. Jones, you see, actually, retail industry has survived a major problem that we have faced, COVID-19 pandemic. So it provides opportunity to retail industry to emerge in two business modes. One is online and the other one is physical business, which is initial setup business done by the retailer, but in small square feet to minimize the operational cost. But the future problem I would foresee here is that we may have war. You see, war is going on. The Parkson has to re-evaluate on the customer preference. So when the product is not available from the country who manufacture and supply to the Parkson, so they have to re-evaluate the markets and how this customer changing preference in the products.
Thank you, Mohan, for your sharing. What I always believe, okay, when there's a buying, there'll be a selling. Since Parkson is in the retailer market, definitely they need to see the problems, what they're having right now. And if they are willing to take up the advice and solution from the consultants, right, I believe they will have improvement in futures. Okay, today, thank you, Mohan, Fendi, Nazri, for your insightful review on Parkson. So that's all for our presentation. Thank you.